And in this text, from the Tibetan Government, and they said, so Buddha's talked, he looked at this, the green field, rice field, the spot, and then he said, this name for Sudara is Salu Sprot Sudara. And then there, inside he said, the Sudara says, Bhikkhu, who seeing the interdependent, and that they saw the Buddha, Dharma. Who saw this Dharma, that saw the Buddha. Then they're talking about the question answer. So what is the interdependent? And then the next page they're saying, because you have this, and then that is grow, maybe because of the one apple tree, and there you have apple fruit, right? And so, in other words, if you don't have that, and that or this, and you don't have this and that, so everything's interdependent, So I feel this is environment they call the permacultural design. Talking about all the interdependence, where if you have this habitat and then this have animal and these things, all is, you're missing one thing. One destroyed, then this affect the other one. All distinct independent. So this Dharma is original interdependent. Last year I did one. We fortunate one organization from Taiwan. They brought two professors from Taiwan. There we studied one permaculture design. The classes in our institute, and 2 weeks. So I tried to attend every morning session. So I felt this is looking I more deeply understand about the interdependent, the original, So I told them, I didn't know that so profound this permaculture design classes. And then that time also we had examination, not many good students not attended there. So it's very pity, I felt. So I told, I want to make one again this winter. Can you please bring one? And they says, then of course they can arrange some of them. So then they can bring the teacher from Australia and from Taiwan. Then I have one friend, and one is the organization, the Germany, we have some friend. I asked, please help me there. We have 2 weeks program, the lodging and some transportation, so they're happy to have us. So we're going to, and this winter, in December the 29th, in 2 weeks, we're taking this course. So I well prepared, bringing from through the contact with the official and Bhutan, Sikkim, Nepal, and Ladakh, all through in the Himalaya regions this year mainly. So so this is not only sitting in the office, that mainly sitting in the ground, and the young people who is working in the environment. So if we properly learn these things, and then you can go work in the environment effectively, more scientifically. So that is I'm trying to do this. And next year, we're also preparing I wanted to bring the many environment to. They have Tibetan in Tibet. They have a quite number of the organization. They're doing different. Some of the planting, the killing the river. Some of killing the garbage. Some of killing the plant the grass. They have some of protect the animals. They're doing quite a number of the organization. So I have been contact with the organization, so they will bring some of key person to train. Of course, each training only have 25 people. It's not like public talk. You have to talk and question, answer. You also exercise. So next year we're planning this. Maybe we cannot do it inside Tibet, but also cannot bring outside Tibet. But we're planning something somewhere in some Yunnan province. Maybe we have some monastery, and we also arrange there and bring. That's what we are planning on. So why I started this environment? Maybe I will talk a little bit better. And the Rinpoche know the first time we in Ladakh, first time going, Rinpoche also accompanied with me. And then I first work, what I did, I first studied one philosophy school in Xiang Valley. So we went to see this Xiang Valley, and we have to ride horse in this. This is Ladakh. Maybe you have been Himis Monastery. The Himis Monastery behind the valley. You have to ride on there. They have one camp. They did one exact, not that big, but small, and philosophy school. We were in Tibet before. Exact copy that. So it could not start yet. So I studied this. So this village, they have one stream. They coming, and of course with that time summertime go. In the morning the snow melt, and after 10 o'clock and maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock, we can cross this river too big, and we wait early morning or evening. And then after 20 years, I went there. So now they don't need to wait. Anytime you can cross this river. It's less, water is less, much less. And some fall time, even just jump it. That's small, unbelievable, It's of course, it's more than 30 years, maybe more than 35 years time. Then Ladakh, they do not have do not have any rain. Very few rain, also very few. All the house is flat, like India many, and they do not have water drainage usually. And then after 15 years, I've been there, then more rain. Maybe we also plant more trees also. And then after 30 years, 20 years, there quite a lot of rain. And then there's no water drainage. Then you have to make a hole there, bring the bucket and put it there. Like this, it's never, do not have before any this weather, they're not very dry this area. Then 15 years ago, I first heard in this Pakistan, also the Ladakh, the west border with Pakistan, then go to the Afghanistan, very close. The Afghanistan, and they had one big, same is that's very dry, and then a big rain. The house all they made by the mud brick, so the big rain, all they made washed up, everything. Unbelievable, never heard this before. And then maybe 5-6 years ago, Ladakh, they have a big flood in our village, also this area. They call the cloud blast something. We never heard this before. maybe all the cloud something, some reason they collect some weight, then could not suddenly burst, right? Burst, yeah. Burst, cloud burst. We never heard about this. Then all the waste washed up, so many people died, and many. So this nature unbalanced, not only Ladakh, all over the world, you will know. I don't have to explain about. So therefore, I think the human never had like this in challenges in our history. We have to do something right. So luckily, the Paris, the meeting, and recently the New York, they signed all the country is this, try to the temperature bring below that 2 degrees. So that is otherwise many animals will be dying. And last year I was in the Dehradun, institution that's 250 kilometers north of New Delhi directly, so foothill of Himalaya. So springtime I was there last year. Then a little bit started hot. And then I sit in the garden, then I saw the goose, the journey to the north, the Himalayas, they go to there. Then after that I thought now it's starting getting hot, Then after a week, I think somewhere the snow in Himalaya, it became cool. Again, those gooses coming back, very confused, I think long journey, they will die, many of them. And then one of scientists, bird scientists, they're saying, and usually, this cuckoo, the egg in another bird, small bird. And then this will be, because this small bird, they won't be, before they open the egg, there will be, cuckoo egg will be opened, Now, they're worrying, because the warming water, maybe this small bird's egg will be, earlier it will be open, and then maybe cuckoo will be not exist. They worry about these things. So on many of these things, so we have to do, and especially Ladakh, and then we have this very dry area. So we first, I did what I did in the first time I started 5 years ago. I'm looking for the farmer. They are every year working hardly, but I look at all is the same seed, planting, bring back. It's not grow much. It's not income not much grow. Why we make one good quality, a little bit better? You same working, but you make better income, So then I first thought that the potato is very important. Maybe some big desires, some problem, but the potatoes underground it still can eat, So I want to make one good potato. Actually, I want to bring the good potato from seed from Peru, but it's not allowed it. Then I looked at the Indian potato, the research center in the Simla, and then Manali, they have two families, they're selling the potatoes, considered as the best potato. So I brought there one truck, and then I give to Changdang, one of very backward country, one village. I give to each one bag, and then I said, actually you properly planted this, you can make 10 times back. But I don't want 10 times, but I want one bag for me. I give to you one bag. The full time I give me one bag or 2 bags. So then I took this bag and distributed another village. So that is I did first time. And then the second time I met some friend in Richard in America, and then so I started one Go Green, Go Organic organization in Ladakh, Changdang. Then we do a little bit bigger. We contract with 4 years contract with the American Mountain Institute. And they also office in India and Nepal. They also Peru and other countries. So Richard also the advisor. He also advisor of my international some works. So therefore we little bit bigger work and doing some. Also not only Ladakh, we also do some Bhutan, some Nepal. We planning to do these things. And I also now doing the main Southeast Asia, the environment places that I choosing the Vietnam. It's my choosing. I have to go every year. Recently I went there. We did very nice, and I sent Kemburangdo first there, and they also we met with the United Nations Environment Office, and also local the parliament one of member is the center member. So through her, then they did well organized. First we planning there one on a mountain there, according to the United Nations, their parliament there. But the organizers, they don't like this. There's some very far from the mountain. They don't know how the future they cut it. They want to plant it, must have sap in. That's the many people. So then they did in a main city park. They need some. So they have a big tree, something 3 to 5 meters tree. And then the first day they also did very good camping sort of. They also come about 20 ambassadors and together. And my message is also every springtime, everyone plant one tree. That's my message. So Vietnam is 92 million people. So every year plant one. 92 is very good. First, my idea is our center member and the local monasteries. I also met some. They're also interesting with the member. Together we're planting. So this now organization, they're taking responsibility, the ALAC organization. So they did quite good. And then we also planting some of hospital, some monastery, some other places. So went very well. And then we're going to this continue. Next year we're going to some with children together planting and some different activities. Also Cambodia, we're also planning to do that. So this is about recently. I just before come, I did some this. Then Ladakh, we are do many things. Gugurung organic. We plant different places. They plant trees, also grass. Some of different level we were planting these things. And the one from economic sustainable project point that we planning is called Sibakton. I think Sibakton not much products from here United States, because they do not have this, but Sibakton in Canada, and then Norway is a very cold country, Russia and Baltic countries, Tibet, Himalaya regions are basic there everywhere and near the river. And this is highly the proteins, highly the vitamin C, 10 times from the orange, and many you can look the internet, they have Sibakton. There are many things there. So we planning these things. And we first time, historically, we had a nursery, Sibakton nursery we did. And then this year, the Indian government, they thought this is very important, and they already started this year. And the Sibakton, the subsidizing, nursery planting subsidizing, they can cutting. Also, they can planting the seed. They can plant the cutting also. I also near the Payam Monastery, the right side, we also special nursery. We have all the maybe 20 different the sibakton. We plant and we see which is best. Will be cool. So we have from Russia, Mongolia, some of also, but most of them from the Ladakh, different places, from Bhutan also, and then the Lahore, Spiti, those areas also sibakton. So sibakton, they also plant in Tibet and the China government. They also plant the economic. They planted a 20 years plan. The last the income will be 1 billion Chinese yuan. After 20 years, they planned this project, but they did not properly plan it. They must have properly planned. They have a certain gap, maybe 2 meters, 3 meters. Each line maybe 5 meters. They will very quickly the root is going, and then also have the 10 the male, female. There needs 1 male trees, and this also direction from the wind directions you have planned. If you properly do that, then 1 sibakton tree they can get 7 kg of the berry. Yeah, so this oil is very, very expensive, and this oil also they kill the cancers, skin cancers, and they're doing a lot of now. The European they're doing a lot of things. I think maybe hundreds of projects. I saw in the U.S. some the beauty shop in some of the. I saw quite a number of them coming. I think every month they will come. It's a new project. So this year mainly focusing planning, and this year we're planning 25,000 of the planting. Then 2 years. So we're going to move to the riverside Changdang, and then we also concentration one of tree that they call that area is this is good for very high land, maybe over 15,000 meters. They can this we call wombushing, wombu. When you use the fire push, I also using. So this is a good why. This I plan because this is big bush also, maybe 4 meters. When the big snowing, and the many animals there, they can go there and you can eat the shrubs top of that. Then they can survive. Otherwise, many they're dying. Last many years, Changdang also that 20,000 last year in the West Tibet also that many things. Sometimes government do something a little bit, but it's not enough. So we plan these things. Now we plan also very different things. Usually we traditionally plan only springtime. Now we can plan in the fall time also a tree. And the tree, if not have enough the seed, you not only the big tree, you can also make small tree, many things. Even you this bush, you can not like this, you can just like this, Yeah, the tail muscle. They have any issues, they're coming growing, So there are many methods now they do, and then important we have to protect the water. So we so far what the situation is summertime with snow mountain, all the water melt directly go to the lake or ocean. The dry land is still dry. So now we try to make one when there's no time we make trench go to all sides, and then what they keep the moisture, or even they collect the underground waters, so that's they can grow everything. So we are not only go green, not only plant something, trees, but let them go whatever they grow, grass or anything, small things, big things. So then this I explaining the people. If you grow this not only with good air, but this also have the home for this can eat any wild animals and birds and insects. This also home for those people, animals, insects. That's what we call benefit of all sentient beings. That's otherwise sometimes there's why you are doing here things and you are monk, you have to do in the pray in the monastery, Yes, this is the way traditionally, but you have to. Sometimes I fail our traditionally, and really practice. This will be little bit separated. So we should not be that. We have practice of six paramita. So we have to master six paramita practice in the society, giving, or, patience or whatever things. So we are do all the good deed that you give for those enemies, insects, animals, birds, not only human. You have to work for those, Work for there for the living, there for the eating, there for the healthy. So you have to do that. That is with the good deed. This is many sentient benefits, many sentient beings. So that number is more benefits sentient beings. Human just 7 billions, but you do one good environment work in one tree, how many bugs you count? You cannot count this. You can benefit many sentient beings. Your accumulation maybe is more. And, so that is great, I'm explaining about. Then they're really understanding there. So now Changdang, did and from the school level to the old and all the government, everybody involved there. So that is doing very well. And so very important to know those things, then people will really move out, So that's the Ladakh Changdang mainly we're doing. We also doing some highlands, some grass. We get Shishibangma grass from the Tibet. They also seed planting their mountain institution. They're bringing and planting some highland grass and. I think the grass is very, very important, and especially Tibetan petrol, petrol that is very high land averages 5,000 feet. So the wide land traditionally, all the nomads, they have so many animals there. Very wide. This is very important for those grazings. It's very important. So there now, according to China, the science report I saw, they have a Tibetan people. They have some 15% of the grassland become the desert. That is very danger, I think. I think the temperature is much higher than the Tibetan because all the heat is up, the cold is down. Maybe this reason they have more and melting and shrinking the lakes, waters. So that is very important. We also thinking, how to they plant the grass. And this year, my one organization from Taiwan, we will call that is the Nature Restoration Action. And they will come this June, and one Professor Chu also coming, how to plant the desert, plant the grass. We experiment, we're going to do that. And after some years, we saw some is the doing, yes. Also some Arabs, they're also doing and many things. So we this the experiment starting this June. We Ladakh Phayang Monastery here, and also Phayang Monastery near there will be permaculture design model I'm going to do, and there will be the permaculture design. They have area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5 years we planning first year area 1. We near the Phayang Monastery they have a girls' school. They fell the school. They have one school. Maybe this area, and they can do with vegetables. The also some gardens. And near last year we also did one collected the water we call ice stupa. Also not far from there, they have water, so we're going to set up these things. Then, so, and it's okay?
You have your robes hitting the microphone.
Okay. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the ice stupa. Actually, one engineering they did, I think 20 years ago, they Ladakh, the experiment, artificial glaciers, they started something. Then some years he could not continue, many reasons. Then 3 years ago, the engineer Rinpoche will know. The one gets up, usually Gusho Bagula's the advisor, no? His son, another, the wife, the called engineering. Do you know? Angchuk, yes, engineer Angchuk, yes. He studied the Singmol school, and who fell. So he's a brilliant idea, one person. So he heard I didn't know him. I went to Changdang, Shejugu, this Go-Green organization. That time mountain institution, some people come, we did some project, and then he heard about these things. He experimented one artificial, the glaciers, the hottest place, which we took it down there. And this place earlier, the Ladakh king tried to plant the rice, I heard. So this is hottest place. So he planted brings one pipe, winter time. Ladakh's winter is almost 6 months. And then put the water, the water come out, and they become ice, higher. So one story is something like this in there. And then this stay until May 1st, that his project is success. Then he called, I heard you are doing this. Can you make a little bit come to buy Changtang and stop my places or inaugurate sort of see these things? Yes, I certainly come. I am happy to come. Then I come. First I met him. Then I looked at there. It's wonderful. And then I thought, oh, this is wonderful. Now is the melting the glass, global warming, and a lot of Ladakh, those, especially that places, they're fighting for the spring, fighting for the water. There's water shortages. So we make this will be very, very good. And so winter, there, all the waters just run out. And spring times, everybody need water, they do not. So therefore, yes, this is wonderful. We will make a project near the Phayang Monastery. And we joint project. Phayang Monastery and the Singmon joint project, we make it. Okay, we just decided, then go back in next time. So first, I bring my money to start it. We buy some pipe. And so this is some 2 kilometers up in the mountain stream. Then they have the plastic pipe, rubber pipe. And then they bring maybe 2 meters, almost 2 meters have to dig it underground, Down, then they don't need any energy. It's because of the gravity. They just open the water's coming out, Then they coming. Actually, he says can make 50 meters, but it's just last time, he also experiment, doing with sometimes water's running, maybe he opened and some trying, sometimes stuck there, so could not make big things, but it's very success. So then we did first fundraising by internationally the Indigo, somebody, Indiegogo. Yeah, Indiegogo we did. So they have Saudi countries, Arabs, they're also supporting. They have experience. It's very interesting. So I think this is good. We did this, and he did very good. They have 3 engineering team, the media team, 3 the work the team that did all the graduate students, university students, so professionally they did, and the update still now. I think you can see they have some website, iStuba, right? It's iStuba. You can see it where iStuba.com where Lada iStuba something. Lada iStuba. You can see the many things there what they're doing. So anyway, that is we did that 2 years ago. And first one, that is we fundraising also 90 days. I think we did this project in 90 days. Now this year also doing something. Now this year I'm doing another little bit down the remote village this winter. We're going to do one of these things. So this, wherever you have a winter, wherever you shortage water, you can make this many hours. Maybe not in the big, or you can also some of lakes sort of. Many things I think can make it, this for the springtime, the melting, then you can do. Actually, tradition, Lada I didn't see. Actually, Tibetan tradition is some of very rare. In the winter, they have to let them to go water in the field. And they're iced, they're up to iced. The field is winter time, all the ice there. And then it's this very good summertime. You don't need to give people water at all. The Tibetans, they drink this earlier. When I was in the work in the western Lhasa and the farmer, Dulung, up in the Dulung, that is especially the Garmabas, the monastery, that area no water. So they have all this ice there everywhere. Put the winter time, they put water. And then they don't need to put water, so they also doing these things. So that is very important. The Sibak Tong also very important for the making the good salt. What is it? Nutrition, something the bringing the many things, something they have doing very good. And so this is now I think what I'm doing. So now I also working for, recently I met one in California. He is the protecting sacred mountain in the world. And like the Mount Fuji already and the United Nations World Heritage. So similar that Mount, the Kalash, they're also planning. So I also involved because I 3 years have to just work in the mountain people. So I also involved there. Some of I think important nature, river coming, those mountains we must have protected. If you World Heritage would be very good, and so on. I also met a very interesting one recently. They protected the snow leopard in Central Asia. So Ladakh also they're doing, and Sankar also they're doing some this year. Also the project they're doing many things. Then I now doing. So why I doing these things? Maybe I will also tell Rinpoche. So since I back from U.S., so I worked almost now 40 years for my lineage. So now second generation, like Rinpoche is there, they already working, taking there, not necessarily I'll be there. So I thinking I did my lineage, I think enough, my best lifetime I spent. Now already 70 years old now. So I thinking my next 10 years, because I have certain connection, because I was 30 years around, So I mainly do, the making the connections and making the bridge between there. So I mainly now concentration working next 10 years for international level for the peace and the environment and the culture. That's three mainly I'm working now. Recently, I also met in New York, especially I went and see the religions in peace, international. They have 70 countries, leaders, they're together. And I met this secretary because I am now working on Sharavasti project. Sharavasti, why they make this? Our traditionally, many prayers, only monks community. We left many young peoples. And sometimes we give a big initiation, then it's finished. So that we, last year I started from Himalaya regions to bring the young people from Bhutan, Sikkim, Nepal, Ladakh, those Scottish people or can speak a little bit English things. Then we bringing there. Last year, 2,000 people in Sharavasti. Sharavasti, this is the brief tale. Maybe Buddha Shakyamuni and the monks community mainly stay there. Sharavasti. It is near the Kushinaka, with the Nepal border. Nepal, they have one famous the national park. Many Western go there. They have a river, and this side Sharavasti. So they have Sharidapu and Mongapu and their relics, stupa, all there. Many of 80 of them, I think, his followers. There many the relics there, and this is not really. Especially the Mahayana, they didn't know these things. Of course, the Taliban and the Thailand is a big company. They also 50 hectares they bought, now buying, and they have 100 feet of the stupa, Buddhas, they have Myanmar, the Koreans, those they have. So I bought one day land. Tibet, they do not have Mahayana. So I made one special temple, which I call the Sharavasti temple. It is only one temple, maybe it's mandala, same as mandala, and 100 feet by 100 feet. And then center have one Buddha Shakyamuni, and that's all. And the top of that, one big crystal ball, and anybody want to meditate, they can do. So that's what I'm doing there. And every year, I'm organized I'm organized, so this is name is for, we call the Great Sharavasti Buddhism Assembly. Every year, 5 days we doing. When the Buddha descending from Tushita, that day, we started every year. Then we teaching mainly, this is we cannot take in any room at the, the publicities, they cannot take any signs, they cannot put flags. So I only have a Buddha, the 5 Panchila, this flag and other peace flags. So this I'm going to try to 5 years. Last year we started Himalaya, this year from Indian Buddhism, mainly the next year Sri Lanka, some Asia, some Buddhist country together. Some selected, some delegation we together to pray. I'm teaching mainly the Dharma path, the Buddha's original teaching. So that we're doing there. And then after 5 years, then I'm planning those Buddhist countries, the delegation, we do other religions together after 5 years. So therefore, I hold the Faith of Religion International with how do we do some activities. Maybe we're doing for all religions together, do some work for the environment and in peace, maybe some war, maybe two Muslims, they're fighting, how they stop there first. This kind of, we can, not only talking, not only praying, we have to action, we have to approach them, we have to do something. So that is before I'm 80, I'm planning, yes, Rinpoche. I think I will take this much, Rinpoche. Thank you. Oh, I have, Sharvasti, you all know, I have a little bit there about this, and if you're interested, you can spot this, and they have every information. I think you have some of them.
beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachment and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachment and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred.
Thank you. And actually, I brought one present in your center. Have one nice the Jiyapsesum made in Taiwan and gold, very nice. And I brought all the way from the Taiwan, the California. They actually bring together. This is too big; they cannot fit on. Then finally, we decided to send by the fabric, and yeah. And they promised that we are arriving, they will arriving, but not there. And I said, if not in the 12 o'clock, I want back money. So they already back now. Anyway, I will deliver it later on. Maybe here I just, for a little bit small here, the water crystal, actually the original mamu that I'm giving Deloba to Naroba. And I also, this research, they have 10 different, more than 10 different that the translation is reading. And in the Hamburg University, I got this and I looked at it all a little bit research sort of, maybe one word, verb, or which is suitable. And I a little bit did it myself and bracket everything here. I just live in the center here, just not empty hand, just put here. Eight.